Good man, this your boy Tez, Hot Dimes TV, where we bringing that fire and we keeping it 100. Y'all see what I got on today, right? I don't think I pulled this out all year yet. Hey, I was ready to wear this weekend if we was gonna make them playoffs, but I'm pulling it out on the L, man. Packers season is done. Finish. It's over. You know what, man? That's why I'm glad that I started this podcast a couple months, man, because I can just get on here and vent. The people who want to listen can listen. The people who want to laugh can laugh. It's just good entertainment. It's good content, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is a place where I can vent, because I know I get on my wife's nerves. You know, I talk to some of my boys, so, I'm really the Packer fan out of, the ones I talk to closely, besides, like, my family. So, bruh. Oh my gosh, bruh. I'm so mad. I'm mad. I'm upset. In this season, you want to talk about a roller coaster season. I'm gonna try to put my post up that I made right here so y'all can see what I put. But let me go ahead and just say what I said when the game ended. Cause you want to talk about a roller coaster season? Let me tell you what I said. So, I gave love to Detroit, even though I didn't want to. Because we know for the better part, since really I've been a Packer fan, since I'm going to be turning 28 in 2 weeks. So for the last basically 30 years, Green Bay, just like Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers, just like Tom Brady and New England when he was there, owned that division. That's how it's been. It's just the facts. There's no way around it. That's just obvious. You would be an idiot to think otherwise. So, with that being said, though, Detroit does have a bright future. There's a couple players I like. Hutchinson, I think that's his name. He gonna be a monster. Goff playing good. They had the number one offense over the last 8 weeks, even over Kansas City, and they scored more than 30 points. With all that being said, man, I'm still mad. Because of the history with Green Bay versus that division. They literally owned them. But that wasn't the case this past week. And I'll be the first to admit, I knew that the Lions game, here go a hot take right here. If any Vikings fans listening to, I wasn't worried about the Vikings game. But the Lions game I knew would be more difficult. Now, I still thought they was going to win. But it was nerves. This wasn't the same, Lions from, what we're accustomed to. So, from that standpoint, I was nervous. But we're going to dive into that, man. Let me just get this post up. So, I said congrats to Detroit. Bright future for sure. Talking about a roller coaster season, Packers definitely gave us one. I called them not making the playoffs on this podcast once they lost that Titans game at home. They had me believing in recent weeks, though. Would have been nice to have a chance to finally beat the 49ers in the playoffs. But then again, not likely, right? Still riding with Green Bay, regardless, until I die. Aaron going out like that would be tough, similar to the Favre situation. Sheesh. Those was my, thoughts immediately after the game. I was like, no way that I sit up here and let Green Bay get me back hype just for them to lose. Come on. I was already mentally, good. I was fine where I wasn't fine, but I would say I was at the point where I was mentally okay with them not making the playoffs. Already had made up in my mind. I'm like, chalk, this season is over. Then they decided to go on a nice little run. Defense finally looked like how, they were supposed to look earlier on in the season. Really, the whole entire season, they actually stuck to running the football. Aaron Rodgers was making winning plays. Oh, and something I've been forgetting to mention, I think I did on the last one, but I'm not for sure if I, said it enough. But special teams and Keyshawn Nixon was a, big boost to what was going on with these last couple W's. So, with all that being said, then they beat the Dolphins. That took me all the way here too, because I had predicted them to lose that game. We know what they did to Minnesota, and then we know how the last game ended. So overall in the season too, man, it's crazy. I end up finishing, I think I put in my notes, I want to say, let me go get that for the facts. This is going to be in my predictions one, because I'm doing every single prediction for the playoffs. Every single one. I can't wait. This is the like moments I've been waiting for. But 26-11 all time on predictions this year. Sheesh. Hey, Vegas needs to hire me, bro. 26-11 all time with my predictions. And with the Green Bay Packers, I went 7-9. Really? That just tell you what type of season they had. So, I think they went 8-9. And I calculated, I was honest from even the ones where I didn't put on the podcast that I didn't make. I think 7-9 equates to, I think maybe I'm missing one game, but I think their season they finish 8-9, right? So I gotta do my math. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 9 and 7. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm missing the game, but I wrote down 7-9. So we just stick with 7-9. Maybe I did do all the Packer predictions on the podcast mostly or mainly. I just missed one. So 7-9, not ideal, especially my first year doing a podcast, but it's all good because we 26-11 overall, and we got these playoffs coming up. So back to the topic at hand, though, man. Green Bay, bruh. I'm gonna go ahead. I took a day. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it yesterday. I wanted to post yesterday immediately, but I didn't really want to ramble as much. I try to get my thoughts, collectively. So then I can just go ahead and eloquently portray my feelings and my thoughts. So we're going to start off right here. The entire team just got outplayed. That's cold, hard facts. The entire team got outplayed. And it started at the line of scrimmage. If you really know football, that's where a lot of games are won and lost at. Aaron Rodgers didn't have too much time in the pocket. Jared Goff back there, which he had plenty time to throw. It's like he was at practice. He was just sitting back there. I don't care what quarterback in the league that you're playing. If you give them too much time in the pocket, you're going to get cooked. It's going to come back to bite you in the you-know-what. So we're going to just dive into it. So the game starting, you know what I'm saying? I think the Packers get the ball first. They drive down. They have a good drive. They get a field goal. Detroit gets the ball. I want to say the defense stopped them into a 3-and-out. Packers get the ball back again. Another field goal. So I'm agitated because I'm watching the game. I'm like, bro, these field goals are not going to get the job done. It was some key drops, I think, early on in the drive and throughout the game as well. I'm breaking all this down, then I'm gonna overall tell you, the reasons why they lost. It was a key, drop. Then I want to say the Lions, they either scored on like their third or fourth possession. So I think the Packers were up like 6-3. They were up 6-3. Aaron Jones fumbles the ball. We're going to remember that. We're going to go back to that. He fumbles the ball. Lions get the ball back. I think defense stopped or they score. And then we get the ball again. And then it goes. Oh, yeah, what happened was the Packers were up 9-3. They were up 9-3. And when Aaron Jones fumbled, they already were in field goal range. So they were more likely going to go up 12-3 or look like they was going to score on that drive to go up 16-3. But instead, Aaron Jones fumbles, gives the ball back to Detroit. And now I think they get a field goal at the end of the game, something like that, end of the half or something, because the score ended up being 9-6. So I'm sitting here agitated like, bro, you cannot let them stay in this game. The Lions didn't have nothing to lose. That's another thing where I want to touch right quick. I know a lot of people say, they made some great calls, great decisions, which is true. But with that being said, at the same time, it was easy to do that because they had nothing to lose. The Seahawks won earlier in that game, earlier in the day. So it made the game with the Lions. I knew they were going to be super aggressive. Every fourth down, they basically was going to go for it, and they was going to do a lot of, tricky plays. So that was the scariest thing. You playing a team that got nothing to lose, a division opponent who you've been owning for the last couple, the last decades, really 2-3 decades, and they got a chance to knock you off. So shout out to them because they got up for that. They could have easily rolled over, but they didn't. I didn't think they would anyways. I already knew because most people knew the Seahawks were probably going to win that game even though they almost lost. And I'm like, Detroit's still going to come out and play hard because they have been playing great the last previous year. So it's halftime. It's 9-6. I'm not happy. Now I'm getting pissed off. Now I'm like, bro, y'all keep scoring field goals and y'all not converting touchdowns. That's not going to get the job done. I think the Lions come out. They score on their first drive. Jared Goff on like a play action launches it like 60 yards down the field. The defender a couple yards short. He catches it basically at the 1 yard line. I'm like, here we go. They score. Green Bay responds. They respond. They score. This is where it gets tricky. And this is where my computer just went out. This is where the game just starts. It gets nasty. Then, skip a couple, possessions, all that stuff like that. I think the score is like 13-16. Green Bay's up 3. Then Green Bay, for whatever reason, Quay Walker decides to push the athletic trainer on the Lions staff. What are you doing, bro? That makes no sense. It was idiotic. It didn't make any sense at all for you to push him. It literally made 0 sense for you to push him. It didn't make no sense. And then the other player, he should have got ejected too because he came in and gave him a tap too. And on that same play, somebody hit the defender when he was going down head to head. It was a nasty hit. His neck went back. So that was unfortunate. But the penalties they could have been avoided. It's just mental lapses, mistakes that just you can't make, bro. I know you're a rookie, but come on. And Quay Walker actually is amazing. His potential through the roof. He played great his rookie year. He literally is a stud. But for the second time this season, we saw him get ejected. Literally for the second time this season, and right when it mattered most. And then Rasul Douglas, what are you doing? I never seen. The announcer said it this year. I don't know what these players are. I don't know what y'all doing. They call a timeout or something like that. He goes and touches the ball and throws it back. It's no need for that. Y'all literally just gave up a touchdown when the game still was in striking distance. More than likely they was gonna kick a field goal. The game is tied. Packers get the ball back with 3-4 minutes left to potentially close the game out. And I don't care what nobody say. We know this to be a fact. If you know sports and anything, momentum is real. You can't allow that to happen. Packers get the ball back. I don't know what type of play calling was going on. Last plays, they get a penalty. It's 3rd and 5. They get a penalty. Now it's 3rd and 10. Aaron Rodgers try to throw it up, play hero ball. He got pressure. It picks to end the game. Game over. Lambeau loses. That's ridiculous, bruh. They literally Detroit beat them, but I feel like once again Green Bay self-imploded. They let that happen. They all had the game within striking distance, and y'all just letting them hang around, which you can't do that, bro, versus a team that got nothing to lose and when you fighting for your lives. So with all that being said, somebody said this and it was perfectly, they broke it down. The whole team was messing up. Jones fumbling. Crosby, he missed the field goal. Defense played great, but they made stupid penalties at the wrong time. Offensive line got cooked. Like I said, no pass rush. Receivers dropping balls. Rodgers playing hero ball. Matt LaFleur calling dumb wide receiver sweeps to Alan Lazard. Those plays supposed to be for Christian Watson. And then we got out. We go out on 4th down, and the team just flat out got outplayed. Literally, that's just what happened. And I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it with a couple more points, and I'm gonna end this video, man. The receivers dropped the ball at perfect time. Rodgers throwing, I'm talking about dimes to where only you can catch it. They dropping the ball. Jones, I said this before the game even started, and I was talking with my boy on Saturday. He brought this up to me 2 years ago, and since he said that, I've been literally, it's a fact. And I even started seeing some other Packer fans say that this year, where Aaron Jones fumbles in big moments. Don't get me wrong, he a dog. He's a beast. One of the best, backs where he can receive and he can run. But in big moments, he always fumbles, bro. I'm so sick of that. Right when we about to go up another possession, score a touchdown, score a field goal, Aaron Jones fumbles. You can't do that. Receivers, y'all got to catch the ball. And then they want to sit up here and act like that's Rodgers' fault. Don't get me wrong, he didn't play great, but he did enough where he had to do. Defense, y'all played great, but y'all made dumb, stupid mistakes, penalties that could have been avoided, bro. And then, like I said, they flat out got outplayed. Now, what surprised me is two things. A lot of people actually didn't blame Aaron like they normally do, because I'm under the standpoint where I'm going to get to for my last topic, where I don't think as much as to fault Rodgers like the media does in the Packers. I'm not saying in Packer fans. I'm not saying he doesn't make certain mistakes, but the problem is they always want him to play hero ball. They always want him to do everything. And when you come in those big moments, I said this. I've been saying this for the last couple of years. You can ask anybody. My point hasn't changed, and it is a fact. When you watch these games, that game on Sunday was a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you're gonna sit up here and look at that game and just say that was Rodgers' fault, stop it. Stop it, bro. And I'm the biggest Rodgers fan, probably one of the fans. I know that, but I admit when he makes mistakes and when he does stuff. He got lucky because he threw a pick too. He threw another interception, but it got called back because of a flag. Like I said, he didn't play his best, but he did enough. He did enough to win the game. Those receivers were dropping. Go back and look at those plays when they were dropping those balls. Those was on key moments like second and long, third and long. They dropping the ball. Aaron Jones fumble. What you want him to do about that? It's his fault that the defense making mistakes, those penalties? No, that's not his fault, bro. They always want him to play hero ball. They always want him to do everything. And when it comes up to these big games and these big moments, that's when you see the flaws of the team. The coaching, too. Don't get me started on Matt LaFleur, because I don't even know if he's as good as they be trying to make it seem like, bro. Because, yeah, you won 13 games the last 3 seasons, stuff like that. But how much was that to credit to Rodgers? Because you can't adjust. What makes a great coach, like I said, is always a difference from the top tiers and great coaches is they adjust. I never see Matt LaFleur adjust. Never. He just he played too scary to me sometimes. There's no adjustments at all. He just stick with the same game plan. I hate when coaches do that. If you can't adjust, then I'm not saying you're not good, but you're not great. That's what separates people. I kind of got off topic a little bit. I went to my last point because that just really irritates me. So I had to get that out there. Let me know if y'all disagree. But what they were criticizing Rodgers for, and I'm 100% with this. I was watching the sports shows and stuff like that. How he was talking post game and in the pre-game, like they said, it's okay, every now and then, or not every now and then. It's okay if you said certain things that you do after the game, but before the game, don't nobody want to hear about the ring that you won. Don't nobody want to hear it's been a good ride. Don't nobody want to know how great you are. No, go show me. Go do it. Why are you talking like you defeated, bro? That's 100% right. He pissed me off. Don't be sitting up here talking and reminiscing, talking about all these years. Yeah, we know that. We can do that after the game. We can do that after we retire. So for them going in on that, that's 100%. I love the way they were going in on him with that, because that's facts. I thought they was going to force it, but I was watching. I was hurt, but a lot of people actually did it. They gave him credit. They said basically all the same stuff that I just said, with the team just literally got outplayed in all those in every phase. So that irritated me, bro. That really did, that he was talking like that. Then post game with all this retirement stuff, like, okay, now it's the time where you talk about how great the ride has been, stuff like that. But all that retirement stuff is annoying too, because Packers fans, we dealt with that with Brett Favre. Just say something like, you still thinking about it, or it's gonna be a decision to be made. All that dramaticness, all that stuff he be doing, prolonging. I can't stand that. All that extra stuff he be doing, I can't stand it. Just don't talk it. I'm not saying the media asks you a question so you can answer it, but he know what he be doing with certain answers that he be giving. They just paid you too, Green Bay. Y'all made this bed. Y'all got to lie in it. If y'all wanted to move on, we should have this what the Packers should have did. If y'all not going to get them help, if y'all not going to, go all in, stuff like that, y'all should have got rid of them when we got rid of Devontae. That's what y'all should have did. It just do a total rebuild. That's what Green Bay should have did. Do a total rebuild. It's no point of keeping him. He played for 1 year. He still got I think 3 years left on his contract. He got all that money. So the Jordan Love pick even look worse right now. That's why I keep saying, if y'all wasn't gonna go all in on Aaron, get him the help that he needed, stuff like that. Why draft Jordan Love, but not pick up, some more players that can help. You see what I'm saying? Green Bay. This is the point I was making from the standpoint I've been on with. It's just not Aaron fault too. Is everybody, and who fault it really is the upper management, the organization. Because for years, just like they did with Brett Favre, and with him, it's a little bit worse, I would say, than Aaron. Because from a standpoint, some of those games, you can easily point and look that it was Brett Favre though, because he was turnover prone, which we know. But for the better part of the last 2 decades, the thing with the Packers, when you talk about wins and organization and stuff like that, they always in the top tier, the top 5, top 3, respectable. But the word is they're underwhelming and lackluster, because 2 Super Bowl rings with 2 all-time great quarterbacks. I would say both of them top 10 easily. Brett Favre and Rodgers are top 10 QBs. You got 2 Super Bowl rings because of your lack of just leadership, of just being able to run the team and, do certain things that you need to do. That's more of a front office thing than anybody else. Let him go play for a Mike Tomlin. Let him be under Bill Belichick in that organization like the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Let him go to some of these other teams. Pair Aaron up with Andy Reid and stuff like that. I don't understand what Green Bay, they rode the coattails of these quarterbacks and they literally failed them, if we being honest, bro. They both got a ring, but they easily, a fan would tell you this, they easily should have more. Even a fan that don't like them, like a division opponent, they will tell you that they should have more, bro. And that's where I'm at with Green Bay. They really irritate me, bro. I'm telling you, this is going to be a 30 for 30 to have. Go to a Brett Favre, to an Aaron Rodgers, and, you know what I'm saying, not have no ring, like only have 2 rings. It's just unacceptable, man. Look, I'm venting now. Now I'm just going in a little bit too much. I'm about to close this video up, man, because we passed the 20-minute mark. That's where I wanted to go. But I'm going to close it by saying this, man. Hold on. I'm going to close it by saying this. The Packers got some decisions to make, bro. They really do. As far as free agency, I looked over the free agency. The big ones that I see that I would say is the top, ones that number priority. And you got Alan Lazard on there, Adrian Amos, you got Randall Cobb, and Crosby. Crosby is an all-time great Packer legend, too. Overall, kickers just in general. But he did what he had to do this year. He was clutch. I don't know if he got the leg no more. I think it's finally time to move on from him. Robert Tonyan is tricky. He came off the injury. He still did pretty well, solid. It wasn't like that year before he got the injury when he led the leads in touchdowns at tight end over Travis Kelce. Of course, he's not better than him. Nowhere near. I'm just saying that's the type of production he was giving as far as touchdowns. He was doing amazing. So it's like I'm 50-50 with him. I don't know if they should keep him. I don't know if they should let him go. Maybe like on a cheap deal. Maybe. And then the 2 I think they should bring back, Alan Lazard. He had his career high in receptions, career high in receiving yards. Now, my problem is I don't think he's a number 1, but he does so much stuff that the Packers need, like the dirty work that don't come up in stats, far as blocking, far as getting out on those sweeps and just doing all the dirty work, far as being a leader for those receivers. I actually like Lazard a lot, but just not as a number 1 receiver. I don't like him as a number 1. And I think Christian Watson is going to take that. If he can stay healthy, bro, if him and Romeo Doubs can stay healthy, I'm telling you, you heard it here first, that man is going to be a star. Christian Watson got superstar potential written all over him. He just got to stay healthy. And Romeo Doubs is nice, too. And then I think they should bring back Adrian Amos. I think they should. I think, Darnell Savage, he struggled early on. He lost his job. He came back on late. So I think you want to keep that safety, tandem intact back there. So I think they should bring him back. But I didn't look at the wide receiver free agencies and stuff. It's too early in the season. It's playoffs still, so I'll get into that in another video. But I think that they should bring Lazard back. You got the 2 rookies, but still, go get a wide receiver. They got some decisions to make with Matt LaFleur. I know it sounds crazy, but they really do. And then the biggest picture in the room, the elephant in the room, what they going to do with the Aaron Rodgers situation if he decides to come back with Jordan Love, because now it's like they don't want to waste him, but you pay Rodgers that money. So it's like they clashing. It's kind of like they look stupid to me, because it's like they want to keep Love and they want to have Rodgers. They want to try to win, but they not doing everything they can possibly to help Rodgers win. So if you're not going to do that, then let him go. And let's just start the rebuild now. That's what I would say. Now, to that, this is my last point. To that, I got something to say. Somebody said this too, and they said it perfectly. It says, everyone quit your whining. We've enjoyed, Packer fans, practically 3 straight decades of great quarterbacks, yes, and playoff runs. Not many teams have gone that long without having to rebuild. It just might finally be our time. And that's just facts, bro. That's where I'm at with it. Not in a way where, like I said, is it underwhelming when you're talking about the big picture and we dive into it? Yes, as far as the rings. But you still can't tell me these years haven't been great. Green Bay, you know what I'm saying, not at the top tier with certain stuff with wins and making those playoff runs. The word is just underwhelming because it should be more. But that's not to say, ask the Lions fan how they feel. Ask Detroit how they feel. Ask Chicago how they feel. And that's no shade. That's just facts. They will tell you all these different quarterbacks they done had in the last 20 seasons, 30 seasons, and we basically had 2. That doesn't happen anywhere in the NFL besides Green Bay and New England because they had Tom Brady for all those years. You just can't make that up, bro. And it's amazing. And I'm so sick of Packer fans like going in how they are on Aaron, bro. Like, I don't understand that. That's what was my last point to say that. Like, he said that perfectly, and I'm with him as far as the rebuild. If that's, if we're gonna move on and that's the case. But the people who want to rebuild and that's bashing Rodgers. Y'all acting bratty, y'all acting spoiled, and typically disrespectful, really, because this man literally has put the franchise on his back for the better part of his career, and y'all just talking about, oh, move on, let's get done with it, I'm just ready. Okay, when the Packers sitting at the bottom of the league losing, which I hope they not, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but who's to say the next transition is just going to be that smooth, man? That's all I gotta say, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Like, subscribe. This year we going higher, man. I'm telling you, I ain't expect this to be this long, but that's why I didn't do a podcast episode yet. I'm gonna just break it down a little bit this week because I knew I was gonna talk about Green Bay a lot. I had to get that out there. So this is gonna be a separate video, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I'm gonna come back later with some more fire content this week. It was hard for me to do this one because my boys is out the playoffs, man. But it's still gonna be a great NFL season, man. Now I just shift everything to my Lakers and my Bucks. So this your boy Taz, Hot Dimes TV, where we bringing that fire and we keeping it 100. I see y'all on the next one.